Hi, welcome back. This is the third part in our series on safety first, being prepared. We are talking about what to do in an emergency if a disaster should strike. What can we do now to be prepared in that situation? I'm Mindy Turner with the Cooperative Extension Service, Curry County, your Family and Consumer Science agent. All of the information we're sharing about safety and being prepared is included in this month's Family and Consumer Science newsletter. Hopefully you've received that in the mail or by email if you're on our list. If you're not on our list and would like to be, you can go to our website, curryextension.nmsu.edu, click on Family Health and Wellness, request newsletter, and it will give you the option of putting in your information to receive that hard copy to your mailbox or email to your online mailbox. So feel free to go in, request that. We've got lots of additional information there. And today we're going to talk a little bit about putting together a 72-hour supply kit. Now, a lot of times if there's an emergency, if a disaster strikes, if something happens, then we have to consider that there may be several days that we don't have utilities, that stores can't get restocked, that there's items that just won't be on hand. So that's the purpose of this kit, why we would want to have it. So we're going to talk a little bit about what maybe needs to be in it and how you can plan best for your family. So to start off with, we have some additional resources. The publications we've been highlighting from the Cooperative Extension Service this month: Emergency Preparedness, Sheltering at Home, and Evacuation. These were put together by one of my co-workers, Family and Consumer Science agent up in San Juan County, Rick Griffith. He did a beautiful job. There's really great information in here. You can access these again online through our website to the NMSU website, or if you give us a call, shoot us an email, we'll be more than happy to print them out and send them to you in the mail so that you can have a hard copy of these publications for yourself. We also have available, we do have these in our office that we would be happy to send you. The first one, this is through ready.gov, which we've talked about before, part of FEMA. This publication specifically talks about you as a senior. If you're in that senior age bracket, some things you might need to consider a little differently in being prepared for disasters and having things planned out. This one, also through ready.gov, is for kids. When you're putting together your kit, you're going to want to involve everyone that lives in your household in that process. They need to know what's in it, what it's for, why you have it, where it goes. But there's a slippery slope there because sometimes it can be very scary for kids when you talk about emergencies, disasters, things along those lines. So the purpose of this, it is an activity book. It has actual comics with this wonderful mountain lion family that they are going through how to put together a kit, what things might happen, presented in a very safe way. So this is a great resource if you have kiddos at home, would like to work with them on putting together your disaster preparedness kit. So when we talk about our kits, it's good to have one for your home, but also maybe one in your vehicle. You never know when you're going to be out and be stuck somewhere. Hopefully the things we've done so far, we have done a video, we talked about putting together your first aid kit, and then we had a video talking about putting together your in case of emergency notebook. Those are items you're going to want to include in your 72-hour kit. Why is the kit important? I had everything on the list somewhere, whether it was in the garage or out in the barn or somewhere in the house. So the idea behind the kit is that you find a place where you can put those items together so that when something happens, again, it's easily accessible and you have everything you need. It's also important though to remind everyone, if you take something out of the kit, you're going to need to replace it eventually. So have them think about those things. Again, the issue comes down to storage, like we talked about with first aid kits. What's going to be the best way to store things? You need to make sure you have the space for it. You need to have adequate storage to be able to put in all of the items on the list. Now you're going to think about what disasters happen in your area. What are the things you really might need to be prepared for? And those are the types of things you're going to look at. Specific agencies within your area are going to help you identify, and I say your area, mostly we're talking about Curry County, but I do have a few people who watch from other places around the state. So think about in your area what you need to be prepared for. And they're going to have specific lists for your area of what might need to go into your kit so that you can keep those supplies on hand. So again, think about what's going to be watertight, what's going to keep things safe. We don't want to have things mold. We don't want to have things go bad. If nothing else, you may again be thinking, Mindy, I already have all this. I put my kit together and I'm so proud of you. That's wonderful. So if nothing else comes from this for you, go check it. Make sure right now that everything's in it that is supposed to be in it, and that what is in it has not expired, that the batteries are still good, that everything still works. If you do have food items, non-perishable food items, of course, that you're going to keep within your pack, or like these are actually like what we would consider army rations. When I was a kid, we talked about that, freeze-dried food packets that you can purchase and keep in your kit for emergencies. But make sure that all of those things are still accessible and good, that nothing has gotten into it or chewed on it, or that it hasn't expired, so that if you should need it, everything will be prepared and ready for you. Okay, smaller containers, backpacks, things like that are great for in the vehicle, making sure you have stuff, emergency blankets, ponchos, if it should be flooding or raining, all of those types of things. Other containers that we talked about, even with our first aid kits, duffels that are easy to store and put away, buckets with lids. This is an extremely large tote. This one has wheels and a handle, so you can grab it and drag it around, which is an excellent idea. It holds a lot, so you can put a lot of things together. Your kit is built and adapted, and it's easy to maneuver around if you have a place to put it. So those are the things you have to remember. Maybe you have a closet or a cabinet where you can designate that all of these supplies are going to be stored together in one place. So that's another great way to have everything together in a spot that the whole family knows this is where our preparedness things are located. So think about what type of container you have, and that may also affect what type of things you can put in it, because obviously the size will make a difference as to what you can store. Some things to really think about that are going to be very important is you need to make sure you have water. Lots of disasters affect the water supply or your access to water. So a lot of us use bottled water, I know at this point. So having extra containers or water stored that you can access and use in the event of emergency. So it's important to know you want to have 1 gallon of water per person per day. So if we're building this up to be for at least 3 days, you need 3 gallons of water per person in that kit. So you're going to have to consider, okay, am I building a kit for a household, or am I building a kit just for an individual? That's going to be a factor in what you need to actually put in your kit or have. Okay, and again, all of the standard stuff that we think about when we think about an emergency blankets, flashlights, making sure we have batteries. These are light sticks that you can actually use. This is a flashlight that's a squeeze light, so you squeeze it to charge it up. It doesn't have to have batteries. This actually is solar powered to have your radio, your flashlight, all of those things with it. So some type of a radio where you'll be able to still get news. Okay, even if it's battery operated, make sure you have batteries in all the different sizes that you might need. A first aid kit, okay, on hand, easy to get to with all of the other stuff that's in your kit, as well as your in case of emergency notebook that has all the information you need related to your household and your family members in the event of emergency. Okay, garbage bags, sanitation items. Don't forget, if you have pets that need to be cared for, you want to make sure you have everything for your pets. If you have infants or young children at home, okay, that's one of those things. Make sure you have, if it's extra formula or bottles or diapers, on hand in your kit. That's the kind of stuff too, though, that you're going to need to check every few months because they grow. And right now I have an 11 and a 12-year-old. So if I still had diapers in my kit, they're probably not going to fit. So I need to check sporadically to see. So again, we relocated. So this has been an opportunity. I found everything on the list, but it's a matter of getting it all together in one spot to make it easily accessible in the event of an emergency. That's what we want you to think about, having those things. Bleach, having that on hand so that if you need to disinfect or clean things. Some general tools that you can access, you know, a pair of pliers and a hammer and some things that you might need in the event that something happens. And if you are having to evacuate and leave your home, there's a chance you don't have time to gather all of those things up. But if it's already here, if it's together, then you've got it. And you grab your kit and you go. Our goal is to help you be prepared in the event that something happens, and then we're going to pray that nothing ever does. So hope for the best, prepare for the worst, put together your 72-hour supply kit. Get in touch with our office if you have questions or need assistance with anything, or would like to request any of our publications or giveaways for this month. We would love to hear from you. Again, I'm Mindy Turner with the Cooperative Extension Service in Curry County. Have a great day.